The Enemy Within. This is one of those fun doppelganger episodes. So real quick, the plot in it, there's Kirk, disposable crew members, number 27, 52, and 169. They're down on a planet investigating stuff. They need to get off the planet because it's going to get really cold really soon. Kirk beams up. Kirk beams up a second time, and it's evil Kirk. It's fun. The doppelganger situation. It's a story that we've seen in a lot of other science fiction and fantasy, and they're always really fun. You know, I tend to think of Evil Dead 2 as kind of being like the pinnacle of the good versus evil character with good Ash and bad Ash, and that's done really cheesy, really tongue-in-cheek, really hammy, of course, because it's Bruce Campbell, and, you know, that's the way he runs. This is done a little more seriously, and they really take on the concept of human nature. What does it mean to be good? What does it mean to be bad? Of course, you get commentary from Spock, being the Vulcan in the group, and, you know, it's illogical to be this way, but it's your logic that keeps it in check. Lots of really cool commentary on human nature, and I like that. I liked Shatner's acting more with the good Kirk than the bad Kirk. Bad Kirk I didn't buy so much. And again, like I said in my last episode, I think this is something that could have been done better later on when there's more character development going on. Because we still haven't really come to love Kirk as a character. And I could see this being really great, like season or two later. I know it's only lasts for 3 seasons, but like midway through season 2, do something like this, and really have some dire consequences. Also, Yeoman Rand, I really like this character. I know it's a little cliche of a character. She's kind of the blonde 60s secretary type, but they do some fun stuff with her, and she's been in the last several episodes, and I like her. She's got that crazy beehive weave thing going on with her hair, and I kind of want to know if that's a wig or if they really did that with her hair, because it looks cool. It's really dated 60s sci-fi, which is always fun, seeing like old science fiction and what they thought the future would look like, and how art styles just change. You look at, you know, everybody in Star Trek, they look like the transplants out of the 1960s. You watch something like Blade Runner, and it's like everybody's right out of the 1980s. You know, look at Star Wars and, you know, Luke Skywalker's disco haircut. That stuff's always kind of fun. I like really getting into that. Anyway, Yeoman Rand, I like her character, and the way she gets to shine in this episode, I think she has more of a presence than Spock or Bones. This episode, so much there's like Kirk and her, and the way they kind of play off each other. I really like it. I really like it. 2 big issues I did have with this episode. One was the bad science. I don't care how the transporters work and that you could create a duplicate. That's storytelling. That's fine. What I'm talking about is the fact that the crew members who are left on the planet are down there, and they need to get them off because it's going to get really cold really soon. Okay, cool. Except it's like Sulu and like 5 other dudes, and the temperature drops to minus 40. And they're fine. And they're like wrapping just a blanket around themselves. I've been out in minus 40 weather. You don't survive it with a blanket. And then it drops to minus 60 or something. And yeah, they're staying warm by shooting their phaser at a rock. Without going into too much detail, and you want to, you know, you can go out and research the effects of hypothermia and like freezing of a body. Yeah, their little polyester shirts and a blanket is not going to keep them alive. And then it drops to minus 170. That's right, 170 degrees below zero. And they survive that. I would be okay if there was an explanation, like, I don't know, maybe like Vulcans can survive really cold temperatures or something like that. But these are like normal humans. There's no explanation. They just managed to survive it. That's pretty bad in my book when you kind of mess up stuff like that. Like I said, transporters, time travel, all that sort of stuff. I take it with a grain of salt. I know physicists love to debate that sort of stuff. That's part of the story. But when basic real simple things like surviving cold temperature come up, and it's that ridiculous. I have a hard time swallowing that. And the last problem I had is the huge continuity error in this. Oh my gosh. So, Rand scratches Bad Kirk when he tries to rape her. Yeah, there's an attempted rape scene in a 1965 television show. That's pretty ballsy. Anyway, he has these scratches on the left side of his face. I guess it is. And that's like a huge plot point through the whole thing. It's like, Bad Kirk has got the scratches. Look out for the guy with the scratches. And then he winds up scratching Good Kirk. And so they can't tell them apart. And there's like this big showdown. And so the scratches, big element of the story. It's almost a MacGuffin in a way. And then towards the end of it, there's this really dramatic scene. And they zoom in. And there's this close-up of Kirk's face. And the scratches are on the other cheek. This isn't a continuity error like a dude smoking a cigarette and he lights it, and the next cut it's like halfway down, and the next cut it's like almost a fully lit cigarette. This is like the major linchpin of the plot between Good Kirk and Bad Kirk, and they mess it up like that. Like I've said before, I forgive the bad costumes. I forgive the cheesy special effects. I forgive the fact that, Kirk puts his hand up against a rock and you see it move. The styrofoam sets and everything that's really visible. That's unforgivable. I'm sorry. But overall, awesome. The struggle between good and evil, they have some great commentary on it. Again, Kirk's acting, or I should say Shatner's acting as Good Kirk, Bad Kirk, lots of fun. Rand, I'm sorry, I don't know the actress's name, so some Trekkie is probably going to spam my email and tell me how much he's going to, curse my family and disembowel me tonight for not knowing her name. I'm sorry about that. Please no disemboweling. You can have a finger if you want. But anyway, Rand, awesome actress in that role, lots of fun. So overall, Enemy Within, really good episode. Again, I would have liked it to be a little bit later, and I hate that continuity error and the -170. Unforgivable.